I'm still in time teller mode. I gotta level out and be serious because this is things that keep me up at night. Gotta. Something's in my eyes. Okie dokie, guys. So today we are going to be talking about trust. You probably read the title of this episode before you clicked it anyway, but for those of you who don't know, we've been doing a giveaway on the Time Teller channel and on this channel. We haven't announced it because I was going through some kind of like personal stuff and we hadn't really uploaded new content on this channel for like 3 weeks or something, but we're going to be announcing the winner today in this episode. So please stay tuned at the end of the episode to see if you won this beautiful Gain salmon dial watch inspired by sundials, the company said. I don't know about that, but it is a beautiful watch, and I'd love to find out which one of you won it. So stay tuned. What is trust? Well, the dictionary's term is a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. And this is kind of complicated, right? If you couldn't tell already, this channel is dedicated to kind of complicated topics. No pun intended, because my watch channel is literally dedicated to complicated topics. You know, watch complication. I realize why people say I'm cringy now. But trust specifically is very complicated because people have different parameters with how they assess trust, with how they value trust, with how they choose to give and expect trust. And as a young man growing up, all the way to now, 30 something, I've had numerous experiences where I've given people my trust to a degree that I probably should not have. And I've also had really positive experiences where people have shared trust with me, and it's been very liberating and strength building. So yeah, this is kind of a deep topic. It's something that I definitely want to explore with you today. So here's the things that keep me up at night. So when we talk about trust, kind of an easy segue is unconditional love. And I do want to have an episode dedicated to unconditional love, but as a little spoiler alert, kind of letting you know how I feel about that, I don't wholly believe in unconditional love. And it's because I think true love's foundation is built upon trust, right? You cannot have true love without that condition. There has to be a solid, healthy foundation of trust. And I'm talking about a level of trust where you can truly be yourself, a level of trust where you can be vulnerable, where you can share your wins and your losses without fear of judgment. And I keep saying level of trust very deliberately, okay? Because the truth is, there are levels to trust. It's not as simple as just being like, I trust you, or I don't trust you, or I trust this, I don't trust this. There's nuance and discretion involved when it comes to assessing trust. And this is something that I learned as I matured. And believe me, guys, I'm not like the most mature dude around. I'm just saying this is something that I kind of realized and I want to share with you. Now, I mentioned earlier that I've had experiences when I was younger in which I gave people trust to a degree that I probably shouldn't have, and I ended up getting burned because of it. But the truth is, I learned and I grew up, and it makes sense. Because when you're young, you don't have the same, relationship with nuance and discretion as you do when you get older. It's just, it doesn't exist when you're little. You don't have the space in your brain to worry about nuances or discretion. By definition, when you are younger and immature, you're kind of all or nothing, right? So I truly believe that to fully understand trust and its value and its importance in your life, it is kind of trial and error. And you do have to get burned, maybe a few times, to fully understand the meaning of trust and its importance in your life and in your interpersonal relationships. And I'm not saying you need to get burned so that you can become like this jaded, paranoid cynic. I just think that you do need to learn that not everyone deserves or requires your full trust or the same level of trust. I'm going to give you an example, okay? There are people that work on my cars, and I'm probably not going to trust them with like taking care of my kids, right? It's not because I think that they're bad people. It's because with my relationship with them, I don't need my mechanics to then have that specific level of trust. It requires a different level of trust for sure. Like, and this is where nuance and discretion comes into play. Okay. And I just want to say real quick before we get any further, I love my mechanics, and I actually have a very high level of trust with them because they work on what are essentially like my race cars, and they're all really good dudes, and I'm sure they'd be incredible babysitters. But why would I burden them by like overstepping that relationship by being like, yeah, you got to take care of my kids. I trust you with my kids. It's just like, also, I don't even have kids yet. So this hypothetical is kind of all over the place. Let me try again. I'm not going to ask my doctor financial advice. My doctor is a very successful business owner in his own right, and I'm sure he's very savvy with his finances. The dude owns a two-tone Rolex. It's pretty nice. But again, I have a very high level of trust with him. He's my main caregiver. He's, I trust him with my health, essentially. But I trust him with one thing. I don't necessarily need to trust him with everything, right? That's discretion. That's nuance. You don't give everyone the same level of trust, especially when it comes to things that keep me up at night. What do I mean by that? I'm not necessarily just talking about this channel. I'm talking about the things that keep us up at night. I wouldn't recommend that everyone get on camera and pour their heart out talking about all their insecurities and all the things they're struggling with and their past and this and that. I've chosen to do that voluntarily. I've chosen to come on here and talk about uncomfortable things, and I've chosen to give a lot of myself to you guys by being, an online personality, a Z-list YouTuber, although I am verified on Instagram, so damn. And guys, it's not that I'm like some martyr that I'm doing, but I'm not trying to be too like altruistic, but the truth is, I'm doing this to get the conversation going, and maybe I can entertain you guys and help someone out, like in the process. That's the whole goal. So although I don't think you guys need to, pour yourself out on camera and for a bunch of people to see, potentially millions of people to see, I do, though, urge each and every one of you to try to find others that you do trust, that you can be vulnerable and honest with, that you aren't scared of judgment with, and that you can talk to, all right? That's really, really incredibly important, and you deserve to have that, and you can have that. And the way I know that you can have that is because pretty much every other person out there is looking for that too, all right? And it's up to you to do the work to find the person that meshes with you, that you feel comfortable with, that you can do the work with, that you can be vulnerable with. So show the discretion, understand the nuance, and really value your trust. Don't just give it out to anyone. Don't be paranoid. Don't be cynical. Don't be jaded. There's a lot of really good people out there. But again, not everyone requires the same level of trust. That's all I'm saying. And to be clear, I am not saying that you can't trust anyone. Be careful, because you can't trust anyone. There's a lot of people saying that, especially right now. We've all been incredibly isolated and we've been cut off from like human to human interaction. I'm not saying you can't trust anyone, because you can, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some discomfort, and it might even take some pain to figure that out. But when you find those people that you can truly trust, boy, is it worth it. So please be open, be honest, understand discretion, understand the nuance of every interaction, and you'll be better off for it, I promise you. And now it's time for the giveaway, right? That's what everyone's been waiting for. I mean, come on, where's the freaking watch, man? It's here in the office, but it could be getting shipped over to you if you won. Let's find this out, okay? I've never actually used this specific randomizer. For those of you who don't know, there I am. For those of you who don't know, it was the comment section of this episode. Men aren't supposed to talk about these things. So I put the URL here. I filtered duplicate users, so if people like spam the comment section in hopes of getting more chances, that's smart, but not gonna work this time, bub. All right, let's do it. Captcha that you entered is wrong. Oh, I gotta do math. Someone get a calculator. Okay, it's 9. I said 89 because I'm an idiot. Let's do it. There's 300 comments, 400 comments. Okay, so there's 430 unique comments. All right, here we go, guys. Victor Adem, with a really cute dog as his avatar. His comment was, I've always struggled with my weight, but right now I'm keeping track of calories and exercise. So far, I've lost 40 pounds. Good job, dude. I know what that's like, dude. A couple years ago, I dropped like over 50. And it sounds like you're like right there. I want to lose another 15 and maintain that weight. For me, losing weight, it was easy, but keeping sustainable habits and making lifestyle changes was the hard part. Dude, congratulations. Good job. Not only for your weight loss, but you got a watch. You got this gain. So here's what I want you to do. Email info@thetimtellershop.com and leave a comment on this episode, and we will get this watch out to you. All right, guys. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. And guys, thank you so much for supporting this new channel, this new endeavor of mine. I know that this is kind of icky, like, uncomfortable topics, but it's important, and I'm having a blast doing it. And from judging by the comments, you guys are having a blast as well. So just stick with me. I appreciate your support. And if you want to go above and beyond, please consider supporting this channel on Patreon, because again, YouTube does not monetize these small channels, and this is like more content that has to be edited and filmed and yada yada yada. So it does cost us money to produce this, and yeah, we do appreciate the help. So click the link in the description and support us on Patreon, please. We'd love it. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out with us on things that keep me up at night, and I will catch you on the next one.